Hello, I'm Mark.
And I'm Julie.
And together, we're the Keto Kampers.
We've been married since 1988. We have 3 grown sons. We have 6 grandchildren and 4 dogs. And we live in the Canyon Lake area of Central Texas.
We're making this video just kind of as an introduction so that you get to know who we are. I'm using notes in case you were wondering. So anyway, we're going to let you know a little bit about our history. So we started tent camping in 1997. We went to a sporting goods store and bought a really nice tent, which actually we still have out in the shed out there. We're sitting outside of our regular house right now in front of the travel trailer. So we just wanted to let you know that when we bought the tent, we did it because Julie's parents would take them camping when Julie and her siblings were children, and they had a really great time. I had never really had a camping experience as a child, so one of the first trips we went on in our tent was we went to Polladuro Canyon State Park, which is in the panhandle of Texas. And it was really a great experience. It was one of our first. We were trying everything out, and like I say, we had all the bells and whistles that every off-grid tent camper would want to have. And we had a little bit of a snafu up there because we were on a road trip, because there's a lot to see in the panhandle, and we were on a road trip. We were gone for probably 4 hours, and it was blazing hot because it was July in the summer in the bottom of a canyon, so it was hot. So in the time that we were off, it started raining in the canyon, and we didn't know that. When we got back, since we left our windows open so the tent wouldn't be 1,000 degrees, we had 3 inches of water in the bottom of the tent.
Yes, that was not fun. Everything we owned was soaked. Pillows, blankets, clothes, everything.
So we went into the little town up there. It's called Canyon. And we went up there and went to the Walmart to see if we could find some warm clothes, because not only did it rain, it dropped to about the high 30s in July. Panhandle weather, I don't know anything about it. And everybody in town was at the Walmart buying sweatshirts and jackets and whatever else you can find that's warm in July. So anyway, we did the tent camping thing for several years when the kids were small. We really got pretty good at it, but we started noticing some downsides to being in the tent. I mean, at least as far as we were concerned. Sleeping on the ground, it was uneven, and even when we got the air mattresses, they would be firm in the middle of the day, and then as it cooled off at night, they would get soft, and then they would firm up, and it was just kind of a thing. So
And no bathroom.
And no bathroom. Not a big deal for a guy, right, guys? But for her, it was a big deal. So that made it a big deal for me, because that's just how I roll. So we were getting ready to go on a trip to Colorado, and I don't know, that was going to be our first trip to bear country, and I was relatively sure, in fact, I was 100% sure that if we stayed in a tent, we were going to get eaten by a bear. Just because I'd never been around bears. I've never lived in a place that had bears. So I was like, ah! Anyway, so we went to the store and we traded up. We got a pop-up. It was a Coleman pop-up. It was really nice. I mean, compared to what we had, it had a bathroom, it had a shower, it had somewhat of a kitchen, it had a cooktop and a sink, which that's more than we had.
Well, then in 2002, we went out and we bought the travel trailer. It kept us warm in the winter, or does keep us warm in the winter, and cool in the summer. And it has bathrooms and actual beds, and it's perfect. We are very, very happy with our trailer.
And when you're traveling with kids, especially with kids, having that bathroom in there is really convenient because you don't have to do the wait till we get to a gas station or wait till we get to a rest area or whatever. You just pull off on the side of the road, or you pull off in a parking lot for a couple minutes. Voila, bathroom taken care of. So we really came to enjoy staying in the trailer.
Mark has been retired for the last few years, and I have 27 years with my company and have 3 more till I can retire. And then we haven't decided if we're going to do full-time camping or part-time. We'll know more as it gets closer how we're going to handle these first few years of not being restricted on where or how we go. So
Yeah, it's a time thing right now because she's got 5 weeks off a year, and we go camping for 2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the fall because we don't really go out of Texas. So there's no place in Texas you can go in the summer where it's like cool. So it's middle of summer. We can't go north. We can't go in the mountains. There's just not enough time. So that's why we do what we do. So anyway, we're recording all this so that we can keep a record of our journey from where we are today, camping 4 weeks out of the year, to where we want to end up being, to where we want to travel around. We want to take this. This is a 2002. So as of right now, this trailer is 17 years old. So I've got to give kudos to Dutchman. It's a pretty darn good product. So we want to document this journey. We're doing it on Facebook. We're documenting on YouTube. We have a podcast that we're doing, which all those links will be down below if you'd like to visit. And eventually, we are actually going to have a website at some point. We're not sure right now when it's going to be up and running. We have a couple technical hiccups. We've got the domain. The domain's going to be ketokampers.com. That's campers with a K, in case I haven't said that. So it's spelled a little different.
one word also.
Yes, for the domain, that is correct. So we told you now about the camping part. So what's the deal with the keto part? So if they're not too annoying, I'm going to leave all the katydids and cicadas in, and the birds and whatnot, because I don't know, that's kind of what camping's all about, is nature. So I'm not going to really do too much about that. But now we want to tell you about the keto part. So last year in August, that's August of 2018, I went in for one of my routine physicals, which I've been doing, I don't know, every year for about the past 10 years. And we'd been watching my numbers, my doctor and I, and my A1C had been creeping up, staying right kind of in that border zone of what they would call pre-diabetic. My blood glucose was supposed to be below 100, and it was consistently above 100. It started out where it was a couple points above, and then it got to be where it was 18 or 20 points above. So I was on my way to type 2 diabetes. And so my doctor's solution, which I understand, was medication. Why did he choose medication? I asked him that, and he had a perfectly legitimate answer. Because what they found is changing the diet, they found that patients are non-compliant because they're not going to give up all the good stuff to eat.
Chocolate cake and chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate ice cream and Captain Crunch cereal. I mean, the list of the things that we ate were disgusting. But anyway, so he wanted to put me on a medication, and I was already taking two statin drugs. I was taking high blood pressure medication, and now he wanted to put me on metformin for the out of control blood sugar. So I got to thinking about that, and I said, do I want to just treat symptoms of the disease and remain diseased? Or is there something more that I can do? So I started researching on TV, and we came across the ketogenic diet. It's truly a lifestyle. It's really not a, I mean, there is an eating component to it, but it's a lifestyle. Your whole mindset shifts when you get on it. So where my doctor was saying that patients are non-compliant with a diet change, I found that the ketogenic way of eating is extremely sustainable. Now, I'm not going to blow smoke at you and say that giving up carbs and bread and sweets and sugar and all that was easy. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. The cravings for the first 2 to 4 weeks, mostly the first couple weeks, were insane. Insane. It was everything I could do not to go to Krispy Kreme and buy the display case and eat the entire content. So we went on, and I started doing this about 2 days after my doctor's visit, and I had an appointment with him again in a month to see how the metformin was doing. Well, what I did instead of that, alright, so that you guys can see, I hope I'm focusing here, so that you guys can see what's making all this noise there. There's the little guy. Katie did. So we started on this diet, and I went back for my follow-up in a month, and my blood sugar was 88. We didn't do an A1C then. We just did a blood sugar. Maybe they call it a metabolic panel, I think. Anyway, everything was good. We also did a lipid panel. As is typical with keto, my HDL came up a little bit, which is the bad cholesterol, but it's not bad. Not all of it's bad. Some of it's bad, but not all. My LDL had gone up just a little bit, and my triglycerides had come down just a little bit. And that was after 30 days of doing this. And I had lost 10 pounds. So I drug Julie kicking and screaming.
Big sweets person. Chocolate.
Chocolate lover.
I had a hard time with it to start with, and I will tell you that I am not perfect, and I cheat now and then. But I followed it fairly accurate, and I've lost 50 pounds. So that's a big yes. 50 pounds. It's hard to believe, but it's true.
So anyway, Julie is super stoked because she's fitting in her skinnier girl clothes now, stuff that she hadn't been able to wear in a long time. I've lost about 27 pounds, so it's working, and I don't eat more than 20 grams of carbs a day, and rarely do I hit that. I don't have the desire to eat a bunch of junk we make some stuff. We've gotten recipes from a lot of people, not only YouTubers, but also just food bloggers out there. And we're going to show you some of those recipes. And we're going to do some cooking for you. We also want to do product reviews as far as keto stuff, as far as camping stuff, as far as some of the equipment we use for filming. That's what our plan is. We want to release a video about once a week. It won't be as long and drawn out as this one. They'll actually have subject matter to them, as opposed to this, which is just kind of like all over the place. We also are going to do a podcast once a week. Some of the content may cross over, but probably most of it won't. One of the really rewarding things that we find about traveling and camping in sometimes some pretty remote areas is that we get to see the local area, we get to frequent local businesses. But anyway, if you would be interested in seeing some more of our content, and it'll get better. This one's kind of rough. This is our first video, so it's going to be kind of crappy. So anyway, we would really appreciate if you could subscribe to our channel, if you could hit the bell so you can get notified when we do an upload. And like I said, it's going to be about once a week. We're not going to blow you up with videos, you know, multiple times a week. At least not right now. maybe later. In case you're wondering what I'm drinking here, I don't know if you can see that. This is Pink Lemonade Zip Fizz, which has really become one of my favorite keto drinks. Because I used to drink Monster like 4 or 5 of them bad boys a day, and I've really gotten away from that because some of the artificial sweeteners in there, even though they're not sugar, they still jack with my glucose, and if they're jacking with my glucose, they're jacking with my insulin, and when my insulin's high, my body wants to store fat and not burn it. So that's why I'm not doing that anymore. These don't affect my blood sugar at all, so Zip Fizz it is. Zip Fizz it is.
I'm simple. I just drink coffee.
But anyway, we're going to take you on a quick walk around the trailer just to show you the outside. Now, my house is right behind the camera. My neighbor's house is right behind the trailer. So we are not at a campsite. We are sitting at home right now. We won't be actually getting on the road to go camping again until November. And then we will be going to Lake Arrowhead State Park is the first one. Lake Mineral Wells will be the second one. And when we're actually on the road doing a trip, I can pretty much tell you we'll probably be at least recording multiple videos a week. Whether we upload them or not, I don't know. It's going to depend on the cell service, because sometimes we have good service, sometimes we got nothing. I want to put a cell phone booster in the trailer before that trip.
And new stairs.
Yes. I'm just not sure which brand we're going to use yet. I have been looking at the WeBoost cell phone boosters, so we'll see how that works. The other thing that we want to do is the steps to our trailer. We'll show you during the walk around. They're pretty rickety. I mean, they've got 17 years of up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So we want to replace those with probably the ones we're looking at right now are the More Ride steps that fold up inside. I've done all the measurements and gone on their website, and it's totally doable with this trailer. Julie's got a knee that's kind of messed up, and I can't have her going up and down these rickety steps, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to cut away and I'll probably be behind the camera on the walk around and not in front of it. So you'll hear me, but you won't see me. We want to thank you once again for joining us for this first premiere video that we're putting out. Going on that walk around real quick. All right, so here we are on our quick walk around. So first of all, I'm going to bring you all up here, let you see 2002. And it's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it's our beautiful thing, so that's what we got. So here's the front part of the walkthrough, and I'm going to bring you up and zoom you in. There's our little generator, some other stuff, our towing equipment. Eventually I'm going to pull all this out and show you all the stuff that we have. Now, I want to also show you this. See, as you can see down here, I've got some work I need to do. I had some water damage and I pulled this whole thing apart, this entire front end. I had to pull the entire thing apart to repair the water damage. So there we've got the electric tongue jack and two 30-pound propane bottles. Over here, we've got the battery with my little voltage indicator on there. That is a lead acid battery. I don't have anything fancy yet. Okay, so now we're going to go around the passenger side, and toolbox back behind there. There we have our barbecue grill that we make delicious bacon wrapped jalapenos on. And basically down the side of the trailer, let me do this here real quick. There we go. Awnings. The awnings, if you don't have them, I don't recommend you get them. If you're thinking about getting them, we just don't use them that much. So here is our X-chocks that we use. Those are a new addition. We just started using those last fall and absolutely love them. I've replaced a bunch of the fittings around here. These were all white and deteriorated, so I had to replace those. This one also, same thing. My valves on the main tanks aren't holding too good anymore, so I added that valve right there, that gate valve, so that I don't spill where I'm not supposed to be spilling. When you come around the back, there's a Dutchman light. The model number is a 27BH. It has no slides. And there's the LED lights, and there's my license plate number if you want it. I don't care if you see that or not. So then we go up top. I've replaced all those with LEDs. Come back down, there's another LED. The bumper down here has been repainted. I no longer keep the black water hose in there. I'll show you where that's all at here soon enough. And here is the other side. This is our final compartment here. And in there we've got a table. That's where Julie puts the coffee maker. And then we've got a bunch of other junk in there too. Some fire starters, fat wood fire starters, caulking gun, road reflectors, etc., etc., etc. And then we're gonna just zoom right back out again and show you down the camping side of the trailer. as I try to trip over a chair. All right, and that's it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the notification button. We'll see you in the next video.